afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. It's Champs Corner Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Usually when I start these shows, I say we got a jam-packed one. That's what I do. It's what we say here. It's not like it's out of the ordinary. That's how we always rock and roll. Well, we've been yelled at. Somebody in the comment section, actually not even on our show, on another show, said that we say jam-packed and we only go for an hour. We need to start focusing on going for 4 hours long. So tonight, Stephen Harris doesn't know this, but we're going for 4 hours tonight because we apparently don't bring enough content to Florida Gator Nation. That's just what War Chant's pumping out hour-and-a-half shows. We're not doing enough, Steve. Okay, we've been called out. It's not a jam-packed show. This show's gonna suck. We're gonna lower expectations from here on out. Okay, it's gonna be the worst show you're gonna be produced. We're not gonna talk about anything. Okay, we're gonna be in and out. 5 minutes. That's it. I'm just kidding. We ain't going nowhere, baby. Good evening, boys. Let's dive. We got a jam-packed one. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get after it, boys. Stephen Harris joins the show, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Good to see you. All right, man. Good to see you.
What's going on, baby?
You know,
Go Gators.
We're feeling good, looking good, playing good. We're going to talk about some five-star movement, okay? Top 3 was dropped today. Then we'll talk about a crystal ball, a new crystal ball, man, we haven't talked about, and how this could impact other recruits in that vicinity, in that position group, if you will. Then you have a topic that you're feeling fiery about, you're feeling passionate, that you want to bring the hammer, okay?
Man.
We got to say that's the tone here. And we're going to ask Gator Nation to put their 2 bits into this, see what I did there, and give their thoughts and opinions. And then I got one for you that you already, I'm feeling it, baby. Jam-packed, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to, there's a cool little debate that happened. Listen, I'm quick with it. You know, I'm staying on top of it. Something dropped right before the show. And I was like, I was going to tweet it. And I was like, no. Hold it. Relax. Let's argue about it on the air. Let's give them a live reaction. So you don't have to be prepared for it. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I missed it, but it's all good.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I promise you. You're a professional. You'll be good here. All right. Boys and girls, good to see you. Champs Corner, Stephen Harris. Catch my breath.
For sure.
Got the fresh merch on. Gators. Look, hey, boys.
Hey, that hat fire, brother.
Hey. Gators
okay.
Come on,
yeah,
baby.
Yeah. It looks so good. Hey, turn around one more time. Let me see the back. Yeah. Nah, that's fire.
You know
I like that. Yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, come on, baby.
That's hot.
Should I just do the whole show like this?
Just do crisscross. We're gonna do crisscross. Just wear it inside out.
You know what's funny is the wife, when I made this shirt, she's like, I'm not wearing this one. You need to put that on the front. So we do have a version of this on the front. I'm not a big graphic.
Man.
Yeah.
Big front graphic guy.
There's a day. There's a time and a place for it. Don't get it twisted. But if I'm gonna have a plethora of shirts in my closet, I'd rather just this is what.
Especially when you wear the hat to match, you don't really need too much on the front. So I get it.
It's about class, you know. It's about getting older.
Aesthetic,
just wrote an article about that, about becoming, just getting older. It's tearjerker. If you haven't checked it out, go check it. Go give it a look.
Let's not talk about older while I'm on the show with you.
That's true. Well, listen, I mean, there's old and then there's Stephen Harris. Okay,
prehistoric.
There's old and there's retirement. You know what I mean? Like there's
carbon dating. Yeah.
there's levels to this. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm feeling it, man. My knees hurting right now today. I don't know what's going on. I hate it. I'm trying to take care of myself. You had the little one running around. He puts it to you.
Oh man. Yeah, I couldn't do it right now. A little one right now. Yeah, my daughter, she'll be 9 coming up, and I still have to carry her upstairs to her bedroom at night, and I hate it. I hate it. But the only reason why I hate it because it hurts.
Yeah. You're gonna
out
wish
of
you
breath
could be
by the time
hurt
I get to the top.
years.
Yeah, but that's the part that make me be like, you know what, fat boy, get yourself together because you're gonna wish you could pick her up forever.
Yeah.
So while she still wants to be down in your bed, get yourself in shape, son. So it's a double-edged sword. But
yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel. It's like I gotta go on this big slide. What are we doing here? So let's get after it, boys. So let's talk about Mr. Trent Henderson. This is a big one here. After a weekend of Texas commits, we're looking around going, where's our crew? Where's all of our commits going? We talked about this. We knew this was going to be a dogfight with Texas and having a showdown here with the boys.
For sure.
But Trenton Henderson was visiting FSU just like 2 days ago. He was hanging out, took a picture with old Norvell, and our boy Sick was like, hey, this is Gator Lock, because that's kind of been a little bit of a trend here. I think Carson Baker was the first to do it. It's like, let's go get our quick pick with Norvell before we get into Florida. And then he drops his top 3 today. This was today. And it's Texas, Florida, and LSU. So, and Auburn, which was once highly favored to land him, no longer is doing it. We're getting the traditional phone call here, boys. I was waiting to see. The
Uh-oh.
chat was calling for it.
Hey.
Go ahead, Mom. Yeah, oh yeah, they're calling the Mama Chance.
Hey, Mama.
Yeah, they was calling, and that's why I got you, and I got the same shirt, and yeah, it was a tearjerker. So.
Oh, the article. Yeah, mom called me and she was in shambles when she had. But you have the same shirt that I'm wearing?
I ordered that one.
Where'd you go to get the
So-
shirt?
To your link, obviously.
Close enough. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, I went onto your link, and I got 3 bangers. 3. I got 3 good
It was
ones.
easy, right?
You had
How was the
such good
process?
choices.
Well, Stephen Harris wants to know, how was the process?
The process was, dude, if I could do it, anybody.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Solid
I
point.
mean, come on now, y'all. I mean, I've been able to call it when others haven't. I've been able to. I can manage your links. I mean, Shelton, you are like easy peasy on your links.
All right. Thanks,
There
Mama.
we
Love
go.
you.
We love you, Mama White.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Keeping the tradition alive and well. So,
It's
yeah,
always
Trenton
good. Yeah,
Henderson
got to check in with Mama, baby.
was announced as top 3 today. And look, Auburn, who I'm working on Jake Crane on Wednesday because there's like this pandemic going on with Auburn and their recruiting just falling off a ledge. And it starts with Trenton Henderson and a few others. I think FSU is even stealing one from them. But we've had a crystal ball. Keith Napier joined the party today, feeling extra confident on Trenton Henderson. I think he commits in the next couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So one to watch for, a big one that
July
Florida
2nd,
needs
I
to
believe.
get to maintain the success they had in June thus far, and really kind of continue to grow this class. Because again, 2 big targets in Kendall Gervil and Vonnie Cleveland, who you promised we were going to get. One Vonnie committed to Texas,
I did.
and Kendall has now been crystal ball to Texas. So two targets for Florida were got Lambeau leased out, and that's where we're at with it. So we'll continue to monitor this with Mr. Trenton here, but this big 5-star edge would be a big addition. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, the top gets, starts to get chopped down, man. These big time names. There's only, a few schools that they're looking at. So you should expect to see some of them get pulled to other schools. Of course, we would love to sink our teeth in them, you know what I mean, and get on the join the Gator style. But it's a lot of guys out there once you get to that top tier. But the fact that we're just poised to get some of them is a great sign. I like the Henderson kid. I think he fits our mold well. And I would love to have him. I think we can develop him well, and just this style of play, I think it fits what we need.
No, absolutely. And look, I saw there was a Georgia-Bama battle today. Georgia took that one. It feels like that has been a kind of rivalry at oldest time when it comes to recruiting over the last couple of years, especially with Kirby and Nick. And now you kind of got the new blood in it with Texas. And look, they're gonna eat, man. They're landing some dogs, alongside A&M. That oil money hits a little bit different when they're able to get after it. So
don't forget about the James Johnson kid.
We're still in it with him. I think that one's going to be a tough battle. That one's going to be coming down to the wire, but the number one defensive lineman in the
Miami
class.
Northwestern, man. Great kid, physically imposing. Man, if he's 5-star, I know they might have him 4 in some other places, but hey, he's a force to be reckoned with. So we can get that one. You lose some, you win some, but Florida evaluates well. So I like the guys that we're going after, and if we can get that one, it'll definitely make up a lot of ground for us there.
James Johnson, Sohn, I believe, he's been crystal ball to Florida. Florida's in a good place with him. So if you can land those 2 guys on top of Trenton alongside Drayla McCoy, all of a sudden this defensive line's in a great place. Jameer Perez, the 3-star defensive lineman who committed in May, just was crystal ball to flip today to Ohio State, which Keith kind of came on and said that when he was on the show just about a week and a half ago. So it's not too surprising. We've been slightly hearing it. It's in their backyard. So, look, it's our lowest rated commit. You never want to see a guy go, but if you had to pick one, you're going to pick the lowest rated one. It's going to make the average go up. So there's a pro in it when you can lose it, and it's opens up a spot, opens up some revenue, if you will.
Yeah, and then you have to ask yourself what was the cause behind it. He was 3-star, but we are going after, I guess, lack of better words, bigger names or higher star players at that same position. So when you kind of add that factor in, it's like, okay, it could have got booted out, or he could have just seen the writing on the wall. Maybe communication, maybe not as high as some other places that kind of give you the hint, like, hey, man, they're going after this dude. They're probably willing to go all in at this other position. So maybe I need to make the best choice for myself.
And I'll check this out for another prediction here for Jacoby Green. I'll take a look at that in just a minute, bit of Gator Chomp to confirm that. But thank you for the insight in the middle of the show here. I love that. Crystal balls are flowing. Let's talk about another crystal ball, which it appeared to already have an impact. I was prepared to talk about it, and then again, the world answers my questions for me sometimes when I'm thinking about it. But he's Kent, Hez Kent, I believe is how it's pronounced, a 4-star athlete.
Hez Kent, yeah.
Hez Kent is how they have him rated. I believe that we're recruiting him as a tight end. That seems to kind of be his mold. Miami was leading the way, but as of today, Florida seemed to have made a turn. He's 6'6". This kid's an absolute stud, man. If you take a look,
6'7". I thought I saw 6'7".
6'7", 6'6", 310 pounds. But he's
Yeah.
not like a lineman 310. He's like I'm
No.
gonna run you over 310.
Yeah, for sure. Like Gronk. He's definitely he's definitely a Gronkowski for sure.
Top 150 player in the country, number 9 athlete in the country. Again, I think he's being more targeted as a tight end as of now. That seems to be the case. And so this brought to my question, where does this sit us? Because we have a tight end committed, don't forget. Marcus Bowman was the number 1 tight end that Georgia was early in on. He ultimately committed to USC. So then you have to think, okay, well, Georgia also was looking at Caden Prothro, the 5-star wide receiver from IMG. And so with Bowman going out of the question, we kind of know, okay, well, Georgia's now going to be back in on Caden Prothro, which we knew this. And then I saw this crystal ball today for Kent, and I was like, man, this is probably going to – I'm assuming the Prothro has moved on, or they don't feel too confident with it. And then shortly after, the crystal ball came out for Prothro that he would be ultimately ended up at Georgia. He did announce his final 3 today are Texas, Georgia, and Florida. So we're still in there, and it could be a battle toward the end, but it looks like Florida has kind of already moved the needle, and they moved on to this new target, which is Mr. Kent here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Prothro. If I'm not mistaken.
Prothro. What did I say?
Yeah, Prothro.
That's what I said. I said Prothro.
You were
Prothro.
close. Yeah, depending on how you sounded out, it don't matter. I mean, it matters to the family. I'm sorry, but yeah, but yeah, no. This Kent kid, man, what 6'7", 310. Definitely, Gronkowski type player. To me, that big old frame, being outside running, I think we would utilize him more as a tight end. And I love Prothro. I'm not sure if we're totally moving on. I believe we should still keep an eye for him, his athleticism at 6'6", just the way he's able to do. I think he can be more of a, I wouldn't say true wide receiver, but they can use him at that wide receiver type role, the Prothro kid, or tight end, where they move him out, flex him out wider sometimes or whatever. But I think for us, the way our offense is geared, having Kent would definitely benefit us a lot. That big old frame, and especially I saw a lot of him lined up at wide receiver, which just tell us he can run routes and stuff with the frame. But if we can get him inside to work on his blocking a little bit, with that size, it's not going to be hard to teach him that. He has the frame for it, but I think he'll be a huge weapon for us. Adding to Lagway, the size, his sure size, his long arms, his ability to run routes and run away from defenders at that size. I know his 40 time doesn't look as sexy, but if you compare that to a 6'7" frame, and then in an open field running from somebody, not just from start to go, but he's already got a head start running, that long stride allows him to pull away from people with power. He's hard to take down. I think it just matches well with Florida, and having Lagway on some of that option stuff and misdirection plays, knowing that they have to key in at that position, is going to open up all of our wide receivers tremendously to have a frame like that running down the field or blocking and getting out on routes, man. If we can land this kid, it would be amazing.
So let's kind of break this down for a minute, because when Caden, we talk with Corey Bender, when you're this big, the college looks at you and you go, hey, I know you play this and you think you want to play this, but you're probably going to have to transition into this. It happens more than you think. I want to say Gumps was a tight end when he got to college, and obviously now we see what position he plays. I think that's one of many stories that happens like this. But Caden was adamant about, like, I do not want to be looked at as an offensive lineman or as a blocker. I want to be looked at as a true tight end, like a Rob, not even a Rob, I would say more of a Travis Kelce-esque type, because Rob blocked. Rob was a gritty tight end. And so I wonder how much of that played a factor into Florida of, like, hey, we kind of got our blocking guy. Look, it's great that he wants to be this, but we still have a system that we run. Like, Hayden Hansen is one of our guys, but he's known for his blocking. We've been hearing about these rumors with Amir Jackson and him kind of showing off in the spring game, and then them open that up a little bit more and utilizing the tight ends more from an offensive standpoint. when I look at the scouting report from 247 on Kent here, it says one of the more unique evaluations. Mind you, this young man is labeled as an athlete. Well, why? Because he plays all over the football field and he's probably pretty damn good at every position, and they're not quite
Throw
sure
the
what he's
ball
going
and
to
everything.
not quite sure what he's going to be able to do. If you don't remember, Joe Hayden was recruited as an athlete / quarterback. Then he switched to wide receiver and was like, I'm never going to play because there's some dogs on this team. And then ultimately went to cornerback and became a dog himself because he's a freak. And if you've seen his dad, you'd get it.
Right.
They go, look, he's 6'6", 310 pounds, who primarily prepares tight end at the prep level, but likely projects to an offensive tackle or a DT on Saturday. So I wonder if they had a conversation. It's like, hey, I know you want to play these positions, but let's keep an open mind here. And I guarantee you how kind of Florida likes to operate is like, we want a guy that's willing to be bought in and not just about himself first.
Sure.
And look, not that that's a problem, because if Prothro wants to go do a thing, go do your thing. But it will be interesting to see what he transitioned to. Again, when you hear 6'7", 6'6", 310, you're like, tight end? Well, get you one on the line, but run somebody over.
Listen, you put that tape on, though, you will quickly realize. I've seen guys like that. You're like, oh, yeah, he can do it. But is he really going to do it at the next level? And when I first put the film on, I started questioning myself just from seeing it before. Like, okay, looking at the size, like, all right, he plays tight end, he can catch, but he's not really going to be a tight end. This guy, I'm convinced, can truly be a tight end. And, I would shave a couple pounds off of him at 310. If I get him down to 290, 295, 290, with his length, man, this kid can move. This kid can move, and he runs away from people. He's taking the ball out of the backfield like a running back and breaking away from people. I mean, I've never seen this much size with that much athleticism, and that mismatch alone is a big draw. You get him matched up on a outside linebacker and running the route. I feel like it's a no-brainer with that size. He's going to draw so much attention. The safety's going to always have to know what his guy at on the field. You pair that with the speed we have at wide receiver and these slot positions, the Vernell Browns and Eugene. I mean, Vernell will be the guy by the time he gets here. But you compare that with the other skills that we have at the wide receiver position. He's a mismatch alone. So we're going to have a lot of one-on-ones on the outside with the talent that we got if you get this guy. You get this guy, DJ will have a field day.
So as you're saying that, it also says, show the fact that this guy puts him like, hey, he's going to be defense, but then he says this, show significant development blocking upside, which is great. You want that to have your tight end. When asked to stay attached, possesses nimble movement skills and redirection ability that directly translates from his work as a forward on the basketball court. Uncommon movement skills from a player of his size in the open field will make acrobatic ladder climbing snags in the red zone. Like, in the same breath that he's saying he's adamant that he's going to play on the offensive line or defensive line, but still saying this guy's got what it takes to play tight end, essentially. And in the chat here, which I assume a lot of these kids think that way, they think, I want to play this position. Like, this is where I'm best suited. And I always wonder, like, why the, look, you love a position, I get it. Why just like and maybe you can answer this of like, I want to play this position. And even though they go, hey, you're better, your body type, everything screams this. They're like, no, I want to play it here. Could it just be an unhealthy relationship with maybe that a position coach at their current school? Like, there's so many things, that I wonder, but it's like, dude, I could put you on the edge and you will go first round with 2 years of just me working with you versus a tight end. Like, I mean, tight ends outside of a couple, it's much harder. You gotta be that dude to go first round as a tight end. Which, look, it's not about going first round, but if we want to talk about long-term longevity in the league, this position is more healthy, I would think.
Yeah, for me, what it boils down to when I run across guys like that is one, just they want to score. You know what I mean? Some guys like the rush of getting the ball and making that offensive play and having the crowd cheer for them. A lot more than other guys. And then two, mentality. Sometimes some people mentality is just offense, and everybody don't possess the mentality to play defense, or to play defense in that
Agreed.
Killer instinct mentality. They may be good at it, or they probably can be good at it and finesse the games, but it's going to come out on first and second down. They may get to the quarterback on third down, but first and second down, you want to be an every down player. You don't want to just be a specialty player. And I believe at the tight end position, he can be every down player. You know what I mean? If he comes in, and first, you don't want to be that highly rated at a position and then come in right away and switch. If it's something we'll work on, you give me a couple special packages like, hey, y'all rush the passer on third down, but I'm a tight end. You know what I mean? I can agree to some of that stuff, but just watching him play, I believe he can stand on wanting to be a tight end. He'll be a pure natural tight end, but he's going to be a force. And we haven't seen a Gronk type tight end in a long time. You
I
getting
didn't
the
think
Travis
Gronk's this
Kelce's
big.
and the hybrid. Yeah, you're getting the hybrid. No, I think Gronk 6'5", maybe. But you're
It's like,
getting
what,
the
like he's
hybrid tight
6'6"?
ends
Okay,
a
just
lot.
kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah. You're getting the hybrid tight ends a lot. They're starting to come out a lot, but for what he
He's
can do, and he can
265
still
though,
line up
Steve.
wide. Yeah,
265, so he's got to trim down maybe a little bit more than we said.
yeah, but when you look at him, it doesn't look like it's not fat.
Yeah, I
You know
get
what I
you.
mean? It's not.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you don't move. You don't move like that with fat. You know what I mean?
True.
He's a bit. That's why at tight end, if just think about rundowns and you got him at tight end with he's next to an offensive tackle. You got two offensive tackles, but one can run like a tight end.
Yeah.
Like
You
ball's
got
going to the right. If he's on the right, we need
going
to
this
load
way.
the right. We don't have to, but if I was a defense, I'm thinking, man, I don't have nothing that can stand up over here if
Yeah.
they actually decide to come this way.
I love it. We'll keep an eye on it.
Let alone goal line packages.
Look,
Goal line packages, you bring another lineman in at the fullback, and he leaks out for a pass. You got to be thinking definitely run. You see him in the 3-point stance.
a little sad when I saw the Caden news, but now, like, as we're talking and breaking this down, it's like maybe Florida kind of made a good move here, and we're stealing him away from Miami if things are to be true. So that's always a win in my book as well.
Yeah, I love it as true at a tight end. We haven't had one. It's been a while since we had one like
alongside
that.
Amir Jackson, who we've been hearing some great things. So you could really find again going into DJ's third year.
1-2 punch, yeah.
Yeah, it could be nice. Could be nice.
Be be a Hernandez and Gronkowski. Hey man, I know y'all be easy in the comments.
easy. All right, so Stephen Harris called me. He's like, I got a bone to pick. We got to get after this thing. I need a voice. I need to get this off my chest. And maybe it was just because the kilo was flowing Mr. Urban just a couple days ago. That could have been what it was, right? That could have been what was going on.
For sure.
But he brings up and he goes, listen, we got the Ring of Honor of Florida Gator players, and Urban Meyer's not in it. And I want to kind of put out a little bit of a feel
For sure.
my thoughts and opinions of it. So we're going to talk, I know, about some of the stats and who's in it and what it takes. So I'll kind of let you drive it, and I'll be here as you need me to plug in those things, the expectations, the thoughts, kind of help you fill out your timeline. Because I don't know how you want to go about it. So I don't want to just word vomit here and kind of take away your thunder, if you will.
No. It's just, hanging around. I've had people come to me and just mention, hey, man, the Ring of Honor, do you think Herb would get in there? And it's not one of the things that people think about a lot, but I definitely believe that he's deserving. And then when I had some time to look at it and I looked at who's all in, what were the qualifications for getting in, to me, without a doubt, he deserves to be in there. And I don't see why he's not in there. And I feel like it needs to be a little urgency on just going ahead and solidify and getting them in there. Especially for me, out of all the people that are qualified to be in there, he's the only person, well, all the people you would think are qualified to be in there, Herb is the only person that's actually qualified to get in that's not in out of all the people that's in. So, and it's been a while since the last one. I think Tebow was the last person to go in 2018. I think it was.
Correct.
Right? If I'm not mistaken, Tebow was the last person to get in 2018.
Yes,
so I think it's about time for Herb to get in. We're going in 2025. It's been, 7 years this year since someone's been inducted. And you have it for a reason. So I believe Herb deserves to be in there. I know that the qualifications, you have to be like 5 years removed. What are you can run down the qualifications for us, Shelton?
Yeah, so look, and I see the chat. Chat's kind of spot on. This is kind of what I was talking to Steve about. Is like, look, it's kind of how the exit went, how the retirement party. It wasn't necessarily the cleanest or the smoothest, and I think that's what kind of left some bad taste in people's mouths. Look, I think it's like the Pete Rose thing. Like everybody wanted to kind of throw fits and say he cheated and didn't want to put him in the Hall of Fame. It's like, look, like it's enough time has passed. It's healed the wounds. Get over it. I was in the same boat. I hated the guy too. It was fun to hate him when he went to Ohio State, but like. It's well past that. What he did while he was here was incredible. Now let's take a look at the criteria and then you'll realize that it's made up criteria. Okay. So the first one is high. Because at first I read this, I was like, oh, maybe it's just players, right? Because there's like Heisman Trophy winners. I was like, well, that's like Spurrier's and he won the Heisman. So it's Spurrier, Warford, and Tebow. Like, okay, well, he doesn't fit into that category. Former UF All-Americans inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame accomplishments as players. That's Jack Youngblood. I was like, okay, Urban doesn't fall into that. Former UF All-Americans who are NFL career category leaders, Emmitt Smith. Okay, Urban didn't do that either. Collegiate career category leaders, he didn't do that. Coaches with UF national championships. Oh, okay. Well, all of a sudden, he's qualified. He's there
2 times.
Twice. Coaches with at least 3 UF SEC championships, Spurrier. Now, you could say, oh, that's what disqualifies him. This goes to my point, though. That was created based on the person they put in. It wasn't like these things were listed prior to. And then everything
It couldn't
else,
have been because nobody has more than Spurrier. So, these had to be. Why would you make a qualification that only qualifies one person and almost make it seem impossible for another person to get in? But Urban has 2. He has 2 SEC and 2 national. So, I mean, he's 1 away from SEC qualifying alone with just off of that qualification requirement. But if you're going off national champions as a coach, he's got 2 of them.
Yeah, look, when we talked about it, we read it, I said, listen, to me, it screams good old boy club. And it screams that, hey, we don't like the way that he left. And so I think there's people that are still there that weren't fans of how he probably handled himself on his way out. And there's bad blood. That's all that it is. Because if we're talking about this criteria here, he went outside of us being pissed that he played heart attack and left, he should 100% be in the Ring of Honor. Without a shadow of a doubt, this guy brought the more majority of the national championships and brought us our favorite player of all time, recruited our favorite player, one of our favorite players of all time, Stephen Harris. And he thought I was going to say Tim Tebow. I mean, and also coached a Heisman winning player.
Yeah, and I get it, but you consider Spurrier left Florida too, and he went to South Carolina. Obviously, his career at South Carolina didn't go the way he thought it would go. We beat him a couple times at the hands of Herb. So if you're thinking about he didn't leave and just stay retired forever and just said, you left Florida. We had to go get Zook. Thank God that we got him. If Spurrier had been there, I probably would have never made it to Florida. Just on the way that he was going. So when you take that into consideration, I think the man should be rewarded for what he did on the field and what he brought to Florida, not only Florida, the SEC in total. And then the style of play, Urban changed the game for the SEC with the type of offense that he ran, bringing it over. And without Herb, there's no Tebow. Tebow's in there, but you don't get Tebow in there without Urban Meyer. And, Tebow's a great player. I believe Urban's offense helped, Tebow with his strengths and highlight the type of player he is. And so I think that should be accounted for because Urban he still went somewhere else and won using the same style. So I think just for what he done at Florida, the 3 years winning the 2 championships, 2 SECs, the players that he came in and coached, the Percy Harvins, Vernon Hargraves, all the other Spikes, all the Pounceys, all these other great players who are going on to have Hall of Fame, Hernandez, Hall of Fame careers in the NFL, or just all the accolades they accumulated, came by way of Urban. So I think if you can't, it's hard to get to another player if you got the Ring of Honor and it's to bring in more people. Herb is the only left person out of all the players that are great. He's the only person that qualifies. Even if you consider all the other players that played in the league, all their careers, the qualifications that they have, they don't meet those qualifications. Herb is the only person left in the whole Gator Nation that meets the requirements to get into the Ring of Honor. So what are you just going to stop the program until one person is consensus All-American or consensus Player of the Year? Okay, you know how long it's going to be before that? Hopefully it's not very long. Come on.
Yeah, we'll have one this year.
Lagway.
It's almost been 10 years ago since the last
it won't be very
was
long. I
inducted.
apologize. That was a bad take. Very bad take.
No, because those guys will still be years until
it
they're
will not
inducted.
be a long. I mean, you still have to be 5 years removed, but
Correct.
it won't be long before we have a number 1 consensus person that it won't be long before we have the qualifications on the field to get in there. So let me just correct that. But Urban is there. The last time we did it was 2018. It's 2025. I don't, I would love to see my coach in there. I love everything that he did for the school. The way he left might not have been the greatest, but what did he give you? We still riding off these memories of what he gave us.
Amen.
We're not running off of
we want to
what
ride off
he
of
did in the end.
yeah.
We riding off what he gave. We still on Swamp Kings and all that other stuff. He's responsible for that. Who else got a Netflix documentary about what he did at his time at Florida? Urban. Recruits are looking at that and loving that vibe, and we're trying to bring that energy back to the Swamp. How can you recreate it and not honor the creator?
Amen. So you mentioned Spurrier. Spurrier left for the NFL. And the reason why that's important is because it was positioned a bit differently, right? It wasn't as he ditched Florida to go to another school. It was like, I'm taking on a new challenge. Then he went to South Carolina. But I do want to note this, because I talked to Judd Davis about this. I was like, hey, why did he leave? And he's like, look, it just kind of got too much. Like the expectations were too high every year, and I just wanted it. So did he quit on Florida? No. The way he handled it was much cleaner, right, than how Urban handled it. Urban kind of
sentiment's still the same though.
Pulled the shoot, but yeah, it was like, look, the heat was kind of like, this is too much. It's time for me to go. Again, how they managed it was very much different. And again, I'm not trying to drag Spurrier in this, but that's look, Spurrier. No, there's no issues with Spurrier, right, because of how he managed it. Sure, Urban did it horribly. He could have managed it much better. I think he served his time. He served his penalty for how he handled it. It's just like your kid. They make mistakes, you put them on timeout. You don't leave them there forever, right? Depending on the crime, maybe it's a little bit longer, but ultimately, like, look, I still love you. You did a lot of great things. You're still mine. We still love Herb. At the end of the day, he brought like I think you summarized it perfectly. Like the fact that we're trying to emulate what he brought to Florida now, puts a pin in it.
Let me just clear that. There's no shot at Spurrier saying, "Oh, he left."
No.
Oh, what I'm saying is that people make it seem as if he retired a Gator and he was only a Gator and his loyalty was only to the Gators program and he never would have did anything else and he just rolled off into the sunset at his last stop being a Gator. That didn't happen. He didn't have to leave us neither. They didn't fire him. He made that decision. And now the way Herb might have went about it, to some people, the people are saying whatever they want to say. Well, he gave us his reason. That's his reason. Who are we to dispute?
Great point.
Why?
Great point. We are assuming that he was, because he did take a year or two off. It wasn't like he just went right away.
Listen, but then everybody go see Swamp Kings and see how we train and see all the stuff that we put our body through and the stuff that we did. Some of the stuff couldn't even be on the tape because he probably would have got in trouble for it. So to know that you're carrying that much weight and you're doing all this stuff to win for the program, it should take a toll on you. It has to take a toll on you. The man up tirelessly, countless hours a night, sleeping in the locker room, not even going home because he's studying film to get us these championships. And so if a guy say he's burnt out, no matter how it may seem, we had kids that, didn't have the best track record. Not saying they were bad kids, but we got in a lot of trouble under that tenure. Herb's not out getting in trouble. He's not letting us get in trouble. That's just the type of people that was on the team, the type of excitement that was happening, the fun that people were having, and all this stuff was happening. Under you as a coach, you only could do so much. And so all that stuff takes a toll. You may need to hit the reset button, and it's not going to rub everybody the right way, and everybody's going to have their point of view about how you're leaving. But what he gave us and what he did, I believe no matter how he left the program, he deserves to be in because of that. And It's not like he just
look, there's times on this show that I want to pull a heart attack because the fan base is so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
we could barely hold on to our Twitter handles without blowing the gasket in it.
Yeah, my eyebrows took a whacking today. Okay, they're just minding their own business up there at the top of my eyes, and they're just getting absolutely slaughtered on the internet. So it's part of it. Like I told you, there's some guy wrote a paragraph on Gator Dave's YouTube handle bashing me. Like I ain't even here, bro. I ain't even at the party. What you yelling at me for?
Yeah.
By name, by first name. Unbelievable. Yeah. I love it though.
But we're trying to recreate what he did at Florida. Not necessarily recreate what he did, but that energy, that excitement, that time frame, that work ethic, the relentlessness that we had, the mentality we're still trying to push that in, and he's responsible for that to me.
I love it. Great take, man. Great subject. This was fun to talk about, fun to discuss. Bourbon Gator, dude, bled orange and blue while I was here, and damn near killed him. Him and me both, guys. Him and me both.
Yeah, for sure.
Boys and girls, we've had. Steve was late to the show, so this is why we're dealing with this. Listen, boys, we've been plugging this thing. We gotta get you guys there. Independent Media Gator. This thing's gonna be the hottest thing on the block. I'm telling you right now. It's just over a month away.
Pull up.
You got to pull up. I'm telling you, it's going to be the hottest thing since sliced bread. And you're going to be pissed that you're not there. It's going to be at the Magnitude Brewing Company from 2, not 1. It's just 1. We got to change it from 2 to 5, I believe. They don't open until 1 o'clock. And we're going to have some Gator legends there, some current Gator greats that are currently on the team. And then, of course, the host of a plethora of Gator media. But basically, all who you love listening to and watching from a day-to-day basis, even though we don't provide enough, according to the one troll. But listen, you got to get in on this dang thing and buy some tickets, $25 to be a part of it.
Make sure you get them tickets. Get those
July
tickets,
27th.
Guys.
I don't know if there's a limited supply, but I know we've only put so many people in this thing, and we want to make sure we jam it out and pack it out. And this needs to become an annual thing for us Gators. It's kind of the pre-tailgate to the season-long tailgate. So
yeah, we just missed adding first annual. That's all. Yeah, we supposed to put.
Yeah, put the liar in the ring. I love it. All right.
Hey, I take it, Q Lee. I take it. As long as he get in there, Q Lee, we could call him whatever. But I think he definitely deserves it, man. But y'all get y'all tickets, man. I think the link is on Stadium and Gale's page, or we'll tag it on this post. I'll make sure I share it out on Twitter for you guys to get those tickets, man. Make sure you guys show up, man. It's gonna be a great time.
Absolutely. 288 strong and not 100 likes, Steve. We're gonna send Steve Harris to your house to get beat up. That's how it's gonna be.
Smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. Don't make me upset.
It's off season, which causes for crazy conversations and like great lists to argue and yell about. And this one got me fired up here. So PMT Barstool guy ranked this year's champions. Great conversation, great debate. Like, it's hard to really put these things into categories, but that's what makes these things fun. And so here we go. For the ones that are listening and can't see it, the number 1 team he had was the LA Dodgers. Number 2 was the Florida Panthers in hockey. Number 3 was Gators men's basketball. Number 4, Ohio State college football. 5, the OKC Thunder, who just won a Game 7 last night. LSU, who won yesterday as well. LSU baseball. Then Carlos Alvarez, I believe is how his last name pronounced. Tennis guy, just won the French Open. So the last holding major champion. Then the Philadelphia Eagles, they won the Super Bowl, obviously. And then 9th, they have Roy McIlroy winning the Masters. Of course, there's a couple of major champions already thus far. There's been 2 since Rory. And so here we are, the great debate of this list. It's so hard because obviously, like, I saw people commenting that are Florida fans saying Florida should be first. Like, it's like a weird debate because I don't like. For me, there's golf's. I love golf. Roy being a number 9 it's gross.
Yeah.
That's okay. You agree? I think you're just saying that to make me happy.
No, I agree. I agree. Rory being 9th is too low for sure.
Because not only was it incredible Masters, but for those of you who don't know, it helped him complete the Grand Slam, which he's been chasing for 10 years. Like, it was an astonishing accomplishment. Like, this has put him into a category of golfers that only 4 other guys have accomplished. To put this number 9 is wild. Like, this was the Panthers back-to-back. Dodgers at number 1 is a complete disgrace. I won't put it last. I'm probably going to put Carlos last because he won the French Open. Like, that's the guy's good. Like, this is what he does. Mm-hmm. I'm putting that number 9. The Eagles, I think the Eagles should be higher than OKC, but I know that was OKC's first one, so maybe that's probably a little bit too harsh. LA should be, so I'm thinking LA should be number 8 because the Dodgers spent $1.4 billion. Okay. That's like, if you get basically the first pick, the first 9 picks at kickball, and you get to pick all the best players. Like, it's not impressive. It's not, they're not the number 1 team. That's asinine to me. I think Ohio State should be in the top 3. That team was absolutely dominant. This Florida team is arguably is in the right spot. They're 1, 2, and 3. I think they should be probably 2. And honestly, that Ohio State team was nasty, bro. Like, I'm very close to putting them at that 1 and 2. And this Panthers team, like, those are, in my opinion, arguably the 3 best teams. They were just so dominant, and the way they came together. The Ohio State, you could argue, was Dodger-esque, like, because they just spent a lot of money because they had so much talent. But they kind of they earned their way through that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say I don't know how to quite order it, but I do
Mhm.
see some things that are wrong to me. I don't know if you could say best teams because you got individual like Rory. And I think anytime that
It's
an
tough.
individual effort like that always is a little higher in my book. It's tough to get there. It's just all you, all total focus. And then just given his career, like you said, it kind of sums up his career and puts him at the top with the best of the best. You know what I mean? And so I like that for Rory. But I think the Panthers going back to back,
Yeah.
that I think they're rightfully so probably at number 2. That's a big significant. We
Who's your
live in
one?
Florida.
Who's your one?
I'm trying to get to it. I think one for me, I have to go with the Gators.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just the excitement behind it, the way we won it,
Yeah.
going through the tournament, beating all the top teams that we beat, and then the way the games went, having to come back and win, the excitement of the championship itself, just puts it at number 1 in my book. Just the level of play that we had, the excitement behind the game, and then kind of like coming out of nowhere from the beginning of the season to doing it. No one thought at the beginning of the season we are just going to win it straight out. Some of these teams, the Dodgers, like you mentioned, loaded roster is like if they
They're
wasn't
favored to
in
win
it,
it.
it would be
Yeah.
it'd be
They're
like
favored to win. So here's
yeah.
you settled it. So it's gonna be Florida, the Gators, 1, then the Panthers. I'm putting Rory at 3,
3.
OKC at 4, because again, they
Yeah.
drafted, they put this team together. It wasn't a team of superstars. It wasn't sexy, but
Yeah.
it was very Golden State-esque like. Okay, like back like when Curry won the first one, this team was just put together and think about that first Golden State team. Like when you think about it now, it's like, oh, it's loaded. It wasn't loaded the first time.
No, it wasn't loaded. Yeah.
It's loaded
Yeah.
now
It was to
because
be
of that.
determined. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
then I'm putting OKC at 4, Ohio State at
Ohio,
5, then
Ohio
LSU.
State. Yeah, Ohio State at 5.
Then LSU's
I like
perfect. And honestly, you can leave Carlos where he is. You can leave Eagles, and then we'll put Carlos in 9th, Eagles at 7th, and Dodgers at 8th. The Dodgers should put him at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, but we said we taking Rory at 1 though.
Rory's at 3. Gators are at 1.
No, Gators at I'm sorry. Gators 1. Gators, Panther, Rory.
Yeah, easily. Right,
Yeah.
Rory, like that.
Yeah,
Rory is a massive one, dude. Like that one,
Yeah.
phenomenal champion. I mean, like
Yeah.
that's not me being a golf bias. Like if you understand what he accomplished by winning that,
You definitely got to understand the game. A lot of people don't watch it. I think that's why they put it down there because it wouldn't have that as much uproar for people putting them down there as you know what I mean. But yeah, you got to understand the game, understand how massive that is for Rory.
Yeah,
and what
you
it
completed
does
the
for his
Grand
career and
Slam.
legacy. Yeah,
only 5 golfers have done that in their lifetime, and or 4 or 5, and it took you 10 years to complete it, and it was that one course that held you hostage for those 10 years, and almost to lose it to go into a playoff hole and get it done. Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
right. Yeah, that part of it too. The playoff hole. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, look, great argument. The Dodgers at 1 was lazy to me. Like, and again, everything that we just said about these teams, you could say about the Dodgers because look, that team is loaded. I mean, you have Freddie, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. Like they have 4 MVPs. You have Shohei Ohtani. They no joke have 4 former MVPs on that team.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Like that.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw, Shohei Ohtani. You have 2 Cy Young Award winners. Freddie Freeman was an MVP. Mookie Betts was an MVP.
Yeah, that don't even make no sense, man. Yeah.
Walker Buehler, I believe, was either a finalist or he's won a Cy Young Award. I can't remember. And he's one of their pitchers.
How many wins they end up with that season?
The Dodgers last year?
Yeah.
Either like 90 or just right at 100.
How many losses? I'm sorry.
Probably if they won 100, like 60 losses.
Was this their best record ever?
No, I don't think so.
With that roster?
Dude, it's such a stupid roster, bro. It's so stupid.
I just want to know
they
what
won
they had.
98 games. They didn't even crack 100.
Yeah, so definitely, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, the year
couldn't
prior,
do
I
it.
think the Braves won 111 games. Now
That's what, I knew it was. I didn't know
yeah,
the
we won
exact number, but I
104.
knew
104, and they won 100, so we won more than them in 2024. And then in 2022, we won 101. They won 111 in 2022. Okay, but we won the most. We won more.
Yeah,
than
but a roster that loaded though for this year, and you
should be
win,
160 to
you don't
yeah.
right. I can't put you at number one.
Yeah. I agree. Good point. No, that settled that. That settled that. Good little fun conversation there. That was good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. Awesome.
Well, Steve, we didn't quite hit 4 hours, so they're probably gonna pull you away.
We didn't hit an hour yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
But shout out to Urban Meyer, Ring of Honor, my coach, man. Anybody at Florida, if you're listening, you know, get rid of your saltiness if you got any. But yeah, man. Oh, we didn't give a shout out to our guy.
Oh, Ben,
NIL director.
I had it on the thing too. Good call. Yeah, Ben Chase won. Congratulations to Ben Chase.
Baby.
Thank you for that. Won NIL Director of the Year. Like, that's massive. Okay.
Yeah.
What's even cooler is that there's only one podcast that has hosted the NIL Director of the Year to do smelling salts.
Who was that show?
That was one and only, baby. Okay.
Who did that?
Gator, hey, them high top boys stay hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what we do around here. So incredible. I mean, it's cool to see a lot of these guys who we've worked alongside, and we've had Ben Chase on when he was driving around Old Betty, the bus, accomplishing an incredible feat where he's going to all the college football games. We had him on pre-NIL, we knew him before he was cool. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see him accomplish this. The young man grinds. It's just, he understands it very well. He's so in tune with it, loves these players through and through, and is constantly working behind the scenes to make it better for these guys. Yeah. And rightfully so, should win the dang thing. And glad that, to see that. And also, this is a huge momentum for recruiting, right? Because this, again, the director for NIL director for Florida just won. Again, the everything school. We literally win at everything. We're winning off the field too. That's just what we do around here. Boys.
It was great. I finally got a chance to meet him when we hosted the show at what was the
Alma Mater.
What did we at Alma Mater? We hosted the show at Alma Mater for the spring game, right? Yeah,
correct.
The Friday before the spring game, so I got a chance to actually meet him and just talk with him a little bit. And it was just great hearing the stories and all the work that truly goes into this NIL thing and all the moving parts and trying to make sure that every sport at Florida is taken care of. So it's a lot of work that go into it. So if you guys ever see Ben around or you on his page, on his social media, man, congratulate him, man. Tell him thank you, because he's working tirelessly and he does a great job at his job. And it just takes a lot. And he's here for it. He loves the challenge. And I just know having him there, we're going to continue to grow. So I'm excited for him and glad that he gets that recognition.
Agreed. He hasn't texted me back yet for saying congrats. So he may be dead to us. Yeah. We'll give it 24 hours and we'll decide how we want to handle this. But y'all be good as always.
Hit me back too.
Yeah, smash the like button, boys and girls. Show some love. Go grab yourself some merch. We're still doing the giveaway for the Brandon Spike signed tequila bottle for any of those who buy yourself some beautiful high top swag. Like we're repping ourselves. You guys be good, be safe. We'll see you on Wednesday for the best day of the week. Looking to get Jake Crane lined up. Should be a banger. Going to talk Auburn football. Going to talk Florida football. Going to talk it all, baby girl. You know how we do it. We'll see you till next time, boys. Peace and love.
Peace and love, baby. Smash that like button. Or we going to fight like Shelton.
Bang, bang.